We're at the NHL entry draft in Dallas, and we're talking Vancouver Canucks, who have the 7th overall pick. And Jason, are they going to keep this pick, or is this one going to be in play?
Well, certainly there's been a lot of rumors about what the Canucks could do here, and they didn't back away from the idea that number 7 is absolutely in play. In fact, Jim outlined today the type of player that he'd want in return for number 7 overall, and that would be a guy in the age range of 20 to 23, a guy that can add to their young core, which includes Besser, Pettersson, Horvat. And if they can get that type of player and a proven commodity and a defenseman to fit all of those kind of check marks, I think that they'd be willing to do it. It's probably unlikely. I mean, if you go back in history, Mike, over the past 10 years, it's very rare that top 10 picks get traded. I think that there's another option here for the Canucks, and that's trading back. I mean, they're a rebuilding team. They only have 6 picks overall in this entire draft. They don't have a lot of veterans that other teams, coveted and are chasing and want to give up picks for. So I think that they have one chip that they can play to kind of retain some picks and get some more opportunities here, some more lottery balls to get players that can be impactful in 2 to 3 years when they hope to be competing against. And that would be trading down from number 7. And I see a lot of arguments why that makes sense. I think if you look at bust, if you go back over a decade, you look at who busted out of the top 10 picks, it's usually defensemen. Defensemen, kind of figuring out defensemen at this age has proven to be far more difficult, far more challenging for scouts in NHL teams than figuring out forwards. So if you want a D, and man, the Canucks want a D and they need a D, chances are at say 11, like say if you make a move, just for an example, you trade back to 11. 11 is the Flames pick that the Islanders have now. You get that, and let's say you draft Ty Smith. Okay, like he may be better than Dobson or Bouchard or any of the guys that you could have got at number 7. I think for Vancouver, there's some game changers. There's some no-brainers. If Zadina were to fall to 7, I think that's one of the forwards that they would take over a defenseman. If Quinn Hughes is there, I think that's right. A guy that would be a no-brainer.
And I think there's some confidence now in the scouting staff after getting Besser, after getting Pettersson, that maybe they have some confidence in those later picks.
Absolutely. That's where they've had success. Like they've had success in the later picks. I think 2017 was one of their better drafts. They've added a kind of analytics element that I think has helped them and improved their drafting, and they've done a better job with it. Overall, they have 9 guys that they like, the top 9. I think that there's a pretty good chance that one of those 9 guys is going to be available at 11, 12, 13. And you look at previous drafts, right? Like Hannafin goes, but two defensemen later, it's Werenski. Well, Werenski's a star, right? You look at the 2016 draft, McAvoy goes at 14. If McAvoy doesn't get hurt this year, he's a Calder Trophy finalist, right? So, and it goes. There's endless examples of defensemen that have gone later in the first round that have been better than these guys that are taken at 4, 5, 6, 7.
A lot of options for the Vancouver Canucks. We'll see what happens. Right now, they are picking 7th, but like Jason said, anything could happen. For Post Media News, I'm Michael Trikos. This is Jason Botchford.